Hey YouTube, just want to come on here and explain my hydroponic setup. I had several questions in the comments on my earlier video. All right, the way I go about getting my nutrients is it's like I do a compost tea. So what I use is I use half a pound of compost and I put it in net bags, these small net bags that my wife made for me. So I do half a pound of compost, half a pound of grass clippings, a bag full of leaves, one of those full of leaves, um, a bag full wood chips, kale powder. Let me say it again: kelp powder, KELP. And I keep saying kale. I don't know why. Kelp powder, and basically I do 2 tablespoons of kelp powder. Then I do by volume. I do for every gallon of water inside a container, I do 1 tablespoon of Epsom salts. So that's basically how I get how I make my nutrients. So let me recap it again. So I do half half a pound of grass clippings, half a pound of homemade compost, not just any compost. This is compost I made. You can use bag or store bought or whatever you want to use. I use homemade compost. I use half a pound of wood chips. I do 2 tablespoons of kelp powder, and then I do 5 tablespoons of Epsom salt because basically I do 1 tablespoon per gallon of water, and the water that I use is rainwater. So that's how I make the nutrient. What I do after that is what I'm doing now. I basically put air in it from a air hose, which is basically a fish tank hose. So I aerate it, give it oxygen, and after 24 hours to 48 hours, I let it sit for 48 hours. So after 48 hours, what I do is I dilute I dilute it because I don't want to give seedlings, because you start off with seedlings. I don't want to give them that strong of a fertilizer or a nutrient. So my dilution is I do 1 gallon of nutrient, which is this mix. Then I do 4 gallons of rainwater. So that's my solution that I put the seedlings in. So I'm going to take you to the next step. So the next step is setting up. The nutrient is in the net cup 3-inch holes with the little lava rocks, and I basically put the seedlings in, and I funnel a air pump into drill a hole, run air pump into these containers, so it's always being oxygenated and keeping the water moving. And so it does its thing. The other question someone asked me is, what is my lighting? And it's basically shop lights, lights you can buy from the box stores. But the bulbs that I use daylight bulbs that try to mimic the sunlight. And so I get 14-watt fluorescence with 1,575 lumen and a 5,000 Kelvin bulbs. So this is what I use. I turned this one so it could cool off so I could show it to you. Right here. Let's see if I can let you see it here. Just bringing you over here to the light. There we go. Zoom, zoom. So it's 14.5 watts, 1,575 lumens, 12 volts, and it's 5,000 kelvins. Gives you that daylight effect with your light. Hopefully that answers the questions that were asked. If there's anything else, let me know. Have a good one, everybody.